very supportive. He's always supported everything that I have wanted to do. I had a decor business at the time as well. So I had a lot going on. 3 businesses, a new baby that was turning a year old, and my daughter who was turning 9. And this was going to be the first time that he wasn't going to support me. And that made me really mad. But he said, no way, you know what, we don't have time. We can drink the product, but no, we don't have time for this. So it was literally myself and Judy. We had a discussion, I call it, over a period of a week or so. Went back and forth. He wasn't really happy about this idea of me getting involved with the juice business. But I have to say that a couple of things. I really want to thank Judy for saying to Darren, we said we would do whatever it takes, because they had their own story, which we didn't know at the time, because nobody comes to your house and says, hey, by the way, I'm broke and I'm going to lose everything, and you don't better sign up. So we didn't know anything. But she had a big smile on her face. Right? Many of us heard their story later on. But yeah, she came in with a big smile on her face and just sat there for 4 hours as I served food and took care of my kids, and really didn't pay attention. And finally she got to the business, and remember, I wasn't looking, but I heard some stuff in there, and by the end of it I said, are you kidding me? Like, seriously, this is what's happening in this company called Monabi? And I high-fived her, and I said, one condition, will you be there every single time I call you? She said, well, what do you mean? And I said, like, every time I call you, like, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this big. She said, absolutely. I said, no, for real. Like, I would call you all the time. And literally, from that point forward, I mean, we must talk 6, 7, 8, 9 times a day. We spent every day together. I think we did over 125 tastings or more in 125 days, because we listened to Steve and Gina. And Gary jumped on board about 6 weeks later. It didn't take him very long, so I make him sound he's really bad.
There's a fool everywhere.
And this is where events are important, because although Gary, he did sort of start supporting before, but really his heart wasn't in it. And we took him to a Steve and Gina Merritt event, or Gina wasn't there, sorry, you weren't there that time. But Steve was there, and he was wearing that really cool
It was the Harley Davidson black vest.
It was amazing. And Lamborghini vest. It was a life-changing day for us and a lot of our team, and Gary jumped on board, and at that point our life really started to change with amazing people coming into our life. And I think that's the part we became addicted to. A couple of things, we did make a decision. Gary listened and he said, are you really serious about this? And I said, yes. He said, you really want to do this? And I was like, yes, like a puppy dog with my tongue, hanging out. And I said, yes, yes, yes. Because I was feeling that was the moment he was ready to say, okay, let's join together and let's really do this. And that's when he said, okay, well, Steve and Gina Merritt said they did 125 tastings in a row. Are you wanting to do that? So we did make that sacrifice. I have to say to anyone who's listening, we had other options, but we wouldn't have this kind of life. And so in a sense, I say we had options financially, but really I can't see life any other way. This has become a priority, and I have to say, or Gary will say, when he jumped on board is when our business really took off. And I want to also, before I turn it over to Gary, I want to thank Darren, because literally him and Judy, even though it started out as myself and Judy, he really did the same with Judy, just supported her. When we, literally the 4 of us joined forces, we started doing some crazy things. I mean, we had Sundays where we would do 6 or 7 tastings. We did tastings 7 days a week. I mean, it was insane. I'm not saying everybody has to do that, because that's not necessarily what it takes. You can duplicate and probably do things smarter than we did them, but we did what we knew how at the time.
But also, you're forgetting a really important fact, is that you were walking around with Al's check.
Oh yeah. So one of the key things I did meet Al very early on, Al and Sherry, and that's really what I have to say to anybody. It doesn't matter who that person is. Somebody could come up to you, and sometimes we think, and I'm sure he did think this, yeah, right, lady, let's see. Because I went up to him and I said, you know what, I'm going to get that car. I want to win that car. I can buy it, but I want to win it. And he looked at me and he said, you know what? He said, you will earn it. He said, you will have it. And he gave me a check, and he said, keep this with you for good luck. And that, maybe you don't realize, that had a huge impact on me because I carried that around with me everywhere. It had food stains, it had all kinds of things. Until it shriveled up, but that was like my good luck thing. So I think as an upline, it's very important to instill belief in that very brand new person who comes to you. And you know, those are your future leaders. And beyond that, I just want to say thank you to my husband for joining me on this journey, because he really has a lot to do with us going from blue to Hawaiian.
That's right.
He put his done with it. Yeah.
It's true.
It's so true. It really is. From blue to Hawaiian, you know, he kind of said to me, he said, okay, you know what? We're going to go Hawaiian now. And I started to kind of feel that he was ready. It wasn't now just going to be me who was 150%, and I was actually going to back off just a little bit. And he really took our team and worked with all of our leaders and you know, did the man's role. I mean, I don't want to say that, but it's nice for us women to just kind of, like, I think a lot of the ladies started this. I know Judy and Holly and, you know, Gina. It's really nice to be able to at some point. Al was, I know.
It's the shirt, Steve.
He had a skeptical wife, but I just want to say that, you know, I'm very thankful to Gary because he really did lead us to that place. I said I wanted to do it. He said, okay, you ready to do it? Okay, kind of back off a little bit and let me do my thing. And I just listened to him, and I was coachable. You know, I was accountable to him, and we got it wrapped up, and we're carrying on. We're not by any means, don't feel any different. Just getting started is how we feel. Last thing, I want to thank my team, my uplines first.